push all the limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push all the limits with you right now. Gotta get it right now. Yeah, push all the limits with you right now.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to be trying Omogari for the first time. Omogari is a Korean restaurant in San Jose's Japantown, and it's been there for years. Ever since I've been going to San Jose's Japantown, I've always seen Omogari full of people because apparently it's super popular, but I've never decided to try that, but that ends today because we are going to be checking out Omogari. Omogari's signature dish is their Flaming Fondue Chicken, and it's a cheese fondue filled with spicy chicken, and I'm really excited about that dish because I adore cheese. I am really into cheese. Let's go head over to Omogari now. I have a feeling we're gonna have a pretty delicious meal. I'm here at Omogari now, and I'm really looking forward to the dishes that I'm going to be ordering because some of them look amazing. Of course, I ordered a Flaming Fondue Chicken, and I also ordered the beef bulgogi and spicy rice cake stir fry. The food just came out, and it looks incredible, and I'm going to start on the Flaming Fondue Chicken while it's nice and hot. Wow, this just looks amazing with all this ooey gooey cheese and fiery red chicken. Let's just get a bite of this cheesy chicken. Ooh, this is wonderful. I love the chicken. It's nice and charred and it's full of flavor. It's nice and spicy, but it's not overly so. It's only like a medium spicy, and the chicken itself is so tender and it's a little bit charred. And you can't forget about the cheese. It's a little bit on the sweet side, which I really like, and it's so smooth and rich and stretchy, and it's a really fun dish to eat. I also really like the veggies in there. There's a little bit of peas, carrots, and some corn, and the corn really adds a nice popping sweetness to it. The waiter said this is their signature dish, so he recommends it to everyone that comes here, and I can see why, because if you're here at Omogari, you have to get their signature Flaming Fondue Chicken. I also like that it comes out on a sizzling platter because the cheese just gets fried onto the platter, and you can just scrape it with your spoon to get a little bit of different texture. The spiciness flavor is also just a little bit fermented, which just adds a nice depth to this dish, and I like that it's not overly rich. Sure, it's cheese, but I feel like it's not too much, especially if you're going to be sharing it with a group of people. Now for the spicy rice cakes, and I'm looking forward to this dish because it's in this deep red spicy sauce, and there's so many different items. But let's just start off with the rice cake. Wow, if the Flaming Fondue Chicken is the star of the show, the spicy rice cakes are the supporting cast because you really need this dish. The rice cakes have such a toothsome chewiness, they're so satisfying to bite into. They really have this mochi stretchy texture, and you just absorb all of that sauce, which is so rich and spicy, and it's definitely a lot spicier than a fondue chicken. This is definitely a hot level spiciness. The sauce reminds me of a more umami and savory version of a tteokbokki sauce. It's definitely more subtly sweet, and I kind of like that because it really lets the spicy, aggressive flavors shine through, which complement the rice cake so well, which is a little bit on the mild side. There's also so many other items. I think I'm just gonna try this, which looks like it's a bit of fish cake. The fish cake has a slightly different texture, which I really appreciate. It's almost this sticky sort of caramelized texture, and it's nice and sweet, and I love that it's fried, which really adds a nice flavor, and it's just a little bit fishy, which adds a nice umami flavor and really complements the rice cake and really adds to the flavor of the sauce too. And there's also these ramen noodles, which soak up the sauce, which is borderline a broth, so I think this is going to be quite spicy but delicious. The ramen noodles have the perfect texture. They're nice and chewy, almost like those rice cakes. And that's what I really like because it just absorbs all the sauce while still staying chewy, because one of my pet peeves is soggy noodles, and this is quite the opposite. Today is a bit of a cooler day, especially when you're in a shade, and this is a really nice dish, and I could already see this being amazing to eat in the winter time, just on a cold, rainy day, because it'll just really warm you up inside. Now for the beef bulgogi, which is one of my favorite Korean dishes. Now that is some solid bulgogi. You really taste the charcoal grill, which I love. The meat is almost slightly crispy just because it's charred, and you really get that intense charcoal flavor, which really enhances the flavor and saltiness of the dish. It's thinly sliced beef marinated in this sweet soy sauce, and you have all these green onions on top, which add a nice crunch, and you have these onions on the bottom, which are sliced up white onions, and they're sliced nice and thin, so they really get caramelized on a hot sizzling plate, and those are going to be great to eat with a little bit of rice. And I also love the sesame seeds on top, just to add some nuttiness to the meat. Almost takes away from some of the richness just a bit. It's been a while since I've had bulgogi this good, where it's grilled over a charcoal fire, because that's how I think it really tastes best. A lot of times you'll just get it and it's grilled over gas, but when it's grilled over charcoal, it just elevates it to a whole nother level. The meal also comes with traditional Korean sides or banchan, and my personal favorite is kimchi. Your kimchi is really light and refreshing. It's not super strong on the fermented side or on the spicy side, so it just adds a nice crunch and juiciness to any dish that you're eating. There are also some of these thin white radishes. Those are pickled radishes, and they're really tart and bright and quite on the strong side, very vinegary. So they go good with the bulgogi, which is the smoky meat, because it just really cuts through some of their fatty richness, and it balances out and surprisingly pairs very well with that smoky sort of charcoal-like flavor. There's also some bean sprouts. Nice, fresh, crunchy, and simple. Just a little bit of a sesame dressing. This tastes like a little bit of salt and sesame oil, and it's really light and kind of has a nutty flavor, and that's great as well. And for the broccoli. And the broccoli has the same flavoring as the bean sprouts, and it's nice and crunchy. It's perfectly cooked. It doesn't taste raw, and it also doesn't taste overcooked. And the last banchan to try are these potatoes. These potatoes are pretty interesting. They're quite on the sweet side. It tastes like there's a little bit of sugar on these potatoes, and that's going to go good with a really spicy, aggressive dish like the spicy rice cakes. This will just cut through some of the spiciness and just complement it and just bring out some of the sweetness. I really enjoyed my experience here at Omogari. I love the Flaming Fondue Chicken. The bulgogi was some of the best bulgogi I've had in recent times, and also that spicy rice cake stir fry. That's incredible. It's borderline to stew and almost like a soup, just with all that spicy goodness. You really need to check out this place if you love Korean food, especially if you love more slightly trendy Korean food with all the cheese and stuff, because it's a lot of fun to get that fondue cheese dish, especially if you go with a lot of friends. And yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.